In this video, I'm going to model how Desmos can help you, help you with some of the EOC questions. So this is a Desmos activity that you will have the link so that you can try it on your own as well. All right, so first one, solving equations. Desmos can help you solve equations. It's super easy when there is an x on both sides. All you're going to do is type the first part of the equation, whatever comes before the equal sign, into one line, and then whatever comes after the equal sign into a different line. So I might have to go back and forth because I have a horrible memory. And here's the instructions again. Oh, x plus 8 minus 4x. So that was before the equal sign, so it goes into one line. And then 10x plus 4 goes into the other line. 10x plus 4. All right, now to see where the answer is, you find where they intersect. So all intersections have two numbers because it's an ordered pair, and since this equation was solving for x, we just need the first number of the ordered pair. That's the answer for what x is equal to. So x is equal to 1. So x equals 1, and you can submit that. All right, so solving equations. For this one, we're going to do this one the same way. We have an equation. I see solutions. I'm going to type whatever comes before the equals into one line, and then I'm going to type the 121 into a separate line. So 4x squared minus 52x, 4x squared minus 52x. I think that was plus 169. Yep. And to get that squared, I hit Shift 6 on my keyboard, and that's like the little arrow that's pointed up. But you can also pull up this keyboard and just click that button. That would have done the same thing. I'll show you that. I'll just delete that. So if I just type x and then I click that button, it turns it into x squared. All right, now nothing is going to happen if I just type 121 into this. Anytime you have just a number by itself, you have to type in y equals. Otherwise, Desmos doesn't know what you want to do with it. Now, 121 is a really big number, so I'm just going to zoom out. And there's where they intersect. So now this one has two answers, 1 and 12. Again, because the equation wanted us to solve for x, so I'm only going to use the first number in the point. So 1 and 12. So the answer would be D, 1 and 12. All right, this one is a system. It's got two functions, and again, it's just asking you where they intersect. So f of x equals 3x plus 7, g of x equals 2x plus 12, or the same thing. G of x. I'm going to go back and make sure that that was the right equations. Nope, I was close though. 3x plus 7 and 2x plus 12. All right, and the question wants us to see where they intersect. So you can zoom out, and they intersect at the point 522. 522. And this one says, what is the x value? So that's the first part of the point. So the first part of that point was 5. All right, so those first couple of examples were how to solve and find where they intersect. So this one is about evaluating. Evaluate basically means you're going to plug whatever this number is in the parentheses. You're going to plug that in for x into whatever the rule was. So you don't have to use Desmos for this. You can just use a regular handheld calculator and just plug in wherever you see x, you're going to put 30. But Desmos can do it also. So g of x equals 19.6 19.6 plus, I already forgot what it was, 1.74x. And then in the next line, what it wanted us to evaluate was g of 30. And that's the answer right there. And that's the same answer you would get if you did this by hand, if you did 19.6 plus 1.74 times 30. So 71.8. And then you can submit. All right, mean and median, mean, median, mode, all those things. I'll show you where that is in Desmos. And so again, each slide has these instructions. If I'm going too fast, I'm just following these instructions. So keyboard, go to functions, and then stats. So it can find the mean, the median. If you see questions about a quartile, you can pick quartile. I don't think you'll have to use anything else. And this one, we're comparing the mean and the median. So I'm going to do one line for each just because the question was asking us to compare both. So which statement is true if we add 45 to the data set? So let's see, 8, 11, 12, 10, 9. You just type them in the parentheses. 8, 11, 12, 10, 9, 7, 5, 3, 9. And see, that is the mean right there. So I'm just going to type those same numbers. And again, I'm doing it both because the question is asking us for the mean and the median, how they're going to change or not change. All right, and it wants us to see what happens when I add the number 45 to the data set. So that went up. It was 8.3. So the mean went up, and that one stayed the same. It was 9 before the 45, and then it stayed 9. So the mean will increase, and the median will remain the same. This one would be C. All right, so we can try this one again. What score does Abby need to get on her 5th quiz to have an average? Average and mean are the same thing. So we want her mean to be 91. So far she's made it 87, 93, 96, and 89. So keyboard, functions, go to stats and go to mean. Mean and average mean the same thing. I already forgot all of her grades. 87, 93, 96. And an 89. And then our answer choices, we're looking for the answer choice that gives us an average of 91. So we need the average to go down. So let's just start with 90. If I add 90 to this. Oh, there we go, 91. So the grade that she would need to make next to make her average a 91 would be a 90. All right, so this is just a reminder of when you have a systems of equations, when they intersect, there's one solution. If they show up as parallel lines, there's no solution. And if you graph them and they make the same exact line, then they have infinite solutions. So let's just pick one. Let's do this one first. We're just going to graph both of them exactly the way that they're written. 2x plus 2y equals 16. So there's my first line. Let me go back to that card. 4x plus 3y equals 27. All right, so these definitely look intersecting. So this card intersects. All right, let's pick another one. Let's do this one. 2x plus 3y equals 12. 2x plus 3y equals 18. So 2x plus 3y equals 12. 2x plus 3y equals 18. Well, those showed up as parallel lines. So they're parallel, so they would have no solution. And then by default, that one has to be infinite solutions. Those would show up exactly the same line. All right, when you have to write equations of lines parallel and perpendicular, desmos can be really helpful because you don't have to rearrange the equations at all. So I want my new line to be perpendicular to 4x plus 3y equals 9. So let me do that first. 4x plus 3y equals 9. And I want it to pass through the point negative 2, 3. So I'm going to write the ordered pair negative 2, 3. So now I want my answer choice to go through this point and be perpendicular to that line. So it should look something like that. All right, so let's try 3x minus 4y equals negative 18. 3x minus 4y equals negative 18. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty perpendicular to me, and it goes through that point, so that would be the answer. All right, this one would be a little bit of a guess and check, but it's the same idea. Negative 1/3 x plus 5. Negative 1/3 x plus 5. I want it to go through the point 1, negative 10. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I can't even see that point. And in this case, the instructions say I want this one to be perpendicular. So again, that's what I want it to look like. So this will go faster if you remember to do the opposite reciprocal of the slope whenever you want them to be perpendicular. So I need to flip the fraction so that it's 3 over 1, and it should be positive. So I know it's going to be 3x, and that will help cut down on how much you have to guess and check. So I know I want my new one to be 3x, and it can help you if you look at, I need to move this down. This line has to go down to go to that point. So it's probably minus, let's just try minus 10 and see if that works. Nope, let's try minus 13. There we go. So now it's going through that point, and that looks perpendicular to me. So this would be 3x minus 13. All right, line of best fit. Line of best fit will probably come up a lot. So again, the instructions are here. You're going to click the plus sign and type in your table. Now I am running out of time in this video, so I'm just going to do like the first 3 points, 66, 72, 74. One 128, 136, 134. All right, but you need to do all of the numbers that are in the table in order to get the right answer. I'm just running out of time. So this wants the line of best fit and predict the heart rate of someone whose walking heart rate is 100. So to get the line of best fit, in the next line, we need Y1 squiggle, which is next to the 1 on the keyboard, mx1 plus b. All right, and this also, so there's your slope, the m, there's your y-intercept, and if a question asks you about the correlation coefficient, that's the r. All right, now the question wants you to make a prediction, so it wants you to predict when the walking heart rate is 100. So the walking heart rate is the x, so that means x is 100. So in the next line, I am going to put x is equal to 100. Now I'm going to have to zoom out a bunch because these numbers are really big. But wherever they intersect, that y number would be your answer since the x number was what I put in. All right, I hope this helps. The rest of the questions are pretty much the same. They're all line of best fit types of problems.